Brian Robinson Jr. is nothing short of unbelievable, a powerhouse of talent, resilience, and pure determination. And now, the whispers are growing louder. He wants to come to Kansas City. Imagine that. The reigning juggernaut of the NFL, already stacked with Patrick Mahomes' brilliance and a revitalized roster, could add Robinson to their arsenal. If the Chiefs land him, it wouldn't just be a roster move, it would be a statement. A declaration that Kansas City isn't just aiming for another playoff run. They're marching toward destiny. With Robinson in the backfield, pounding through defenses with his bruising style and red zone dominance, the Chiefs' offense would reach legendary status. This season, Kansas City already feels destined for greatness, but if Robinson Jr. joins the kingdom, it won't just be about winning. It will be about carving out a dynasty, rewriting NFL history, and creating an unstoppable force that the league has never seen before. Football Fire Crown. Football? The NFL landscape is in perpetual motion, constantly reshaping itself. And as the 2025 season looms just under 3 weeks away with the kickoff in Philadelphia, franchises across the league are executing calculated maneuvers to fortify their chances at glory. One of the most consequential developments of this offseason may involve the reigning powerhouse, the Kansas City Chiefs. Reports indicate that the Washington Commanders have placed running back Brian Robinson Jr. on the trade block, handing Andy Reid and Brett Veach a golden opportunity to erase their most glaring weakness. For Kansas City, the timing borders on flawless. While the Chiefs have methodically bolstered nearly every unit surrounding their generational quarterback Patrick Mahomes and defensive cornerstone Chris Jones, the running back room remains the Achilles heel, a vulnerability that has haunted the organization for 2 straight seasons. The old adage, one man's discard is another man's crown jewel, has never rung truer. Washington's willingness to part with Robinson Jr. could represent the missing catalyst that propels Kansas City toward a 3rd championship in 4 years. The Robinson redemption story? Brian Robinson Jr.'s journey to this point is nothing less than remarkable. Drafted in the 3rd round of the 2022 NFL Draft out of Alabama, Robinson's career nearly ended before it began. Weeks before his rookie season, he was shot multiple times in the leg during an attempted robbery in Washington, D.C., an event that sent shockwaves throughout the football world and left many doubting whether he would ever play again. What followed became one of the most inspiring comeback sagas in recent NFL history. Through grit, iron-willed determination, and an unshakable devotion to his craft, Robinson returned in miraculous fashion. Not only did he step back onto the field, but he thrived, appearing in 44 games and earning his first start in Week 5 of his rookie year. That alone speaks volumes about his character, resilience, and the caliber of competitor Kansas City could soon acquire. Kansas City's backfield dilemma. The Chiefs' current running back situation paints a portrait of fragility and doubt. Isaiah Pacheco, electric when healthy, has battled persistent injuries that raise legitimate concerns about his long-term durability, particularly as he enters the final year of his contract. Behind him, the depth chart is even murkier. Veteran Kareem Hunt brings leadership but has clearly lost the explosive burst that once made him a household name. A 7th-round rookie and the volatile Elijah Mitchell round out the group, hardly a recipe for championship stability. This lack of reliable depth has left Kansas City's ground attack perilously thin, always one injury away from collapse. Robinson's perfect fit enter Brian Robinson Jr., a running back seemingly crafted for Andy Reid's offensive blueprint. At 6 feet 1 inch and 228 pounds, Robinson blends size, patience, and raw power into a package tailor-made for Reid's vision. His bruising, no-nonsense running style recalls the physicality that made Pacheco and a younger Kareem Hunt thrive within Kansas City's system. Robinson's pedigree at Alabama under Nick Saban cannot be understated. There he honed his patience, vision, and balance, traits vital to NFL success. His ability to wait for lanes to emerge, coupled with his willingness to lower his pads and grind for extra yards, gives him the exact physical edge Kansas City's backfield has been lacking. The numbers back it up. The statistics further reinforce Robinson's rising value. Last season, he posted career highs across multiple categories, signaling not only his continued growth but also his readiness to shoulder a more significant workload. Brian Robinson Jr. averaged an impressive 4.3 yards per carry last season while punching in 8 rushing touchdowns. To put that in perspective, Isaiah Pacheco has never tallied more than 7 scores on the ground in a single year. underscoring Robinson's red zone prowess and ability to finish drives when it matters most. Considering the adversity Robinson has overcome to even reach this level of production, those numbers become even more extraordinary. But Robinson's value stretches beyond his rushing acumen. In prior seasons, he showcased surprisingly soft hands as a receiving threat out of the backfield, hauling in 4 touchdown receptions and averaging 10.2 yards per catch. This dual threat versatility would give Andy Reid another dimension to work with, adding wrinkles to the playbook that could unlock creative formations and force defenses to stay off balance. A perfect roster fit. The broader context of Kansas City's roster only magnifies the appeal of this potential acquisition. After years of inconsistency at wide receiver, the Chiefs finally appear to have solved the puzzle with a rejuvenated receiving core. This bolstered passing attack should naturally take pressure off the run game, creating lighter defensive fronts and favorable opportunities for whoever carries the ball. On the defensive side, Kansas City has enjoyed stability and steady growth under coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. Recent contract extensions for foundational players like George Karlaftis and Nick Bolton highlight the organization's commitment to sustaining long-term excellence. This defensive backbone ensures the Chiefs can stay competitive in any contest while their offense finds rhythm. Equally important, the offensive line has quietly transformed into one of the league's more reliable units. The addition of Josh Simmons at left tackle has fortified protection, simultaneously giving Patrick Mahomes more time in the pocket and paving cleaner lanes for the ground game. Robinson would step into an ecosystem designed for him to flourish, strategic and financial upside. From a tactical perspective, acquiring Robinson would solve multiple issues simultaneously. First, it would infuse immediate depth and spark genuine competition in the backfield, pushing Pacheco to elevate his game while insulating Kansas City against another injury-riddled season. Second, it would provide Reid with flexibility to design matchup-specific game plans, enhancing the offense's unpredictability. Financially, the move makes even more sense. Robinson is entering the final year of his rookie deal, meaning the Chiefs could add a proven contributor at a relatively modest price, both in trade capital and salary cap impact. This efficiency allows Kansas City to plug a glaring roster hole without sacrificing future resources or jeopardizing their ability to re-sign other stars. Intangibles that matter. Perhaps just as significant is the psychological impact. Robinson's comeback from tragedy and his relentless rise to NFL relevance would reverberate through the locker room. Stories of resilience and perseverance inspire teammates in ways statistics can't capture, fostering chemistry and belief that often prove decisive in grueling postseason runs. Trade logistics and championship window. What might a fair deal look like? Kansas City could explore player-for-player swaps, perhaps sending cornerback Joshua Williams or defensive end Felix Anudike-Uzomah to Washington. Such an exchange would allow the Commanders to address their own roster needs while enabling Kansas City to land Robinson without surrendering precious draft capital. The timing couldn't align more perfectly. With Mahomes firmly in his prime, Travis Kelce still producing at an elite level, and the surrounding roster hitting its stride, the Chiefs are positioned for another legitimate championship push. Robinson's arrival would erase one of the final, lingering uncertainties and add the dependable depth championship teams are built on. Why it matters. History shows that reliable backfield depth has been a cornerstone of nearly every Super Bowl winning roster. Teams that can rotate fresh legs deep into January often find themselves lifting the Lombardi. Robinson would give Kansas City that critical insurance, while a healthy competition with Pacheco could elevate both backs without creating division. The result? A tougher, deeper, more versatile Chiefs offense ready to carry their dynasty ambitions into 2025. So, what do you think? Should Kansas City pull the trigger and bring Brian Robinson Jr. to Arrowhead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. With Bolton commanding the middle, the Chiefs' defense is a wall of steel, and that's the missing piece to a complete dynasty. Pair that with Mahomes and the offensive firepower, let's be real, nobody's stopping Kansas City this year. Not with Nick Bolton leading this defense. The Lombardi is coming home again. Get ready. The Chiefs aren't just trying to win, they're coming to dominate, and Nick Bolton is the heartbeat of that mission. Paired with Patrick Mahomes, Rice has become the ultimate weapon in Andy Reid's arsenal. A dynamic, fearless playmaker who can stretch the field, dominate after the catch, and leave defenders frozen in his wake. Whether it's third down, red zone, or a last-minute drive, Rice delivers. And if he continues at this level, there's only one outcome for the Chiefs this season: another Super Bowl championship. Chiefs Kingdom, get ready. Rashee Rice is exploding onto the scene and the league can't stop him. This isn't hype. This is a warning. Kansas City is coming for it all in 2025, and Rashee might just be the secret weapon that gets them there. Y'all know I've been tracking this Kansas City Chiefs organization like a hawk. And let me tell you, what we're witnessing with this offensive line overhaul is absolutely electrifying. This isn't just your average offseason shuffle. This is Brett Veach and Andy Reid executing a bold, no-nonsense blueprint to fix what we all saw break down in the Super Bowl. I've been around this league long enough to recognize when a front office means business. And make no mistake, the Chiefs are locked in. They watched that Super Bowl performance, saw their offensive line falter when it mattered most, and said, never again. That's the mindset of a dynasty. That's why Kansas City remains the gold standard of the NFL. Let's unpack what's really happening here. The Chiefs knew, without a doubt, that their offensive line was the Achilles heel. Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in football, was scrambling for his life, trying to conjure miracles behind a line that simply wasn't holding up. You can't pursue titles with your generational quarterback playing survival football. So what does Brett Veach do? He goes out and secures Jalen Moore, a proven, battle-tested veteran with the experience and grit to protect the franchise. This wasn't desperation, it was strategic, calculated, and smart. Moore brings a veteran presence, leadership, and that "I've been here before" edge you need up front. But Veach didn't stop there. He doubled down and used a first-round pick on Josh Simmons. That move right there, that's a declaration. This is our foundation. This is where we win or lose. Simmons has the tools, his size, the athleticism, the refined technique to become something special. And better yet, he's stepping into a locker room with seasoned vets, elite coaching, and a quarterback who elevates everyone around. Now, here's where it gets tactical. Kingsley Suamataia sliding from left tackle to left guard. That's not a demotion. That's chess, not checkers. Andy Reid and his staff are asking the real questions. How do we maximize each player's potential? If Suamataia thrives at guard, that's where he'll dominate. Forget draft status, this is about results. Yes, losing Joe Thuney stings. He was a raw, consistent, durable, and respected. But elite franchises adapt. They don't crumble. And that's what we're seeing. Mahomes, he gets it. He's not whining about roster turnover, he's embracing it. He's leading, talking about reps, position shifts, and the grind of building chemistry. It takes reps, he said. Coach Heck's rotating guys around, JT's back, and we've got flexibility across the board. That's leadership. That's why Mahomes is different. Let's give flowers to Coach Andy Heck too. The man is an O-line guru. He's building versatility into this unit, and come injury time, because that's inevitable, this cross-training will be priceless. And don't overlook Jawan Taylor's return. That's a massive boost for stability and continuity. Having a veteran anchor at right tackle gives this line a foundation to grow from. Sometimes, the most powerful move isn't signing a superstar, it's getting your core guys healthy, locked in, and ready to ball. But let's keep it real. OTAs and minicamp, that's just the appetizer. When the real bullets start flying in the fall, that's when we'll see the fruit of these moves. And trust me, Chiefs Kingdom, this offensive line isn't just being rebuilt, it's being reborn. Y'all already know the grind doesn't stop, and neither does the scrutiny. What's unfolding with Kansas City's offensive line transformation isn't just compelling, it's championship level strategy in motion. Thank you guys, see you next video.